money cause you know I gotta win. Living in the booth, I ain't even gon' pretend. Started with $1 and a dream at the end of the day. Like I said, man, I don't need friends. Into the money cause you know I gotta win. Living in the booth, I ain't even gon' pretend. Started with $1 and a dream at the end of the day. Like I said, man, riding the beat like she riding the wave. Trying to get money, I'm going to the stage.
Good morning, America. How you guys doing?
Perfect. Everything's perfect. Yeah.
What? The green car?
Just the blow valves.
Well,
But do we have to put my take on to have a look while you're driving, or?
it drives well. I just want to make sure that I just want you to drive it. I want a second opinion. So, this is a good client of ours, Clay Smith's car. It was originally done at stage 1, then they came back, we did a Motec upgrade, and now he wants to do a fuel system upgrade. This car is used for his rallies, so he wanted to get a car with good gas mileage, and he had this idea that going to a flex fuel that it would still get bad gas mileage regardless if you went ethanol or pump gas. Anybody that has flex fuel cars, if you have pump gas that's 91 or 93 in the car, your gas mileage should be good. You shouldn't have gas mileages like what ethanol does. Ethanol consumes 25 to 30% more fuel, so you should not be consuming an extra 25 to 30% more fuel when it's on pump gas. Okay, no, that means you have a tune error. So, you know, he had a bad experience in the past. So, you know, when I flew out to Oklahoma a couple weeks ago to do some street stuff with him, you know, he described all this stuff to me, and that's why he didn't want to do fuel system upgrade. So after kind of having the conversation of how we do things, he's like, Alex, I'm gonna send the car back and let's do a fuel system. So it's landed yesterday. I'm gonna get one of the techs to do a fuel system upgrade. So I gotta take the manifold off, put injectors in it, take the interior apart, drop in a fuel pump and a billet top hat for our extra fuel pump that we add. We're gonna drive it around. City has some concerns with little things, so you know, everybody's got a different driving style, and I try to cater the driving, the car, and the builds of how they react and how they act based off how the client's gonna drive the car as best as I can, right? There's certain things that we can't do, certain things that we can do, so we'll go from there. So we got Milo and I have the entire shop rocking and rolling. Yesterday was Labor Day, so we lost a work day, which gives me anxiety, and I got to make it up in these 4 days. So we're gonna kill it. Alfredo, my money manager, my partner, and a lot of stuff has showed up. And
you're late. I'm just kidding. I have a lot of notes for you, as you can tell.
Titles. So as you guys know, we build all kinds of different cars. This is the stage 1 car for Florida. One thing when you build a car with us, it's more than just buying a turbo kit and shipping it. We like to customize a kit that's gonna be for your cosmetic opinion. Like me, I like all black. I like simple. Some people like to be loud. So like, this is the wrinkle red. Another cold system with black clamps, black blow valves, ceramic black on the housings. So he's finishing this puppy up right now. This is stage 1, so we'll have it on the dyno, I think tonight, tomorrow morning. And then see how much power it makes. They do have 93 out there, so we're gonna turn it up a little bit more with timing than we normally do with California cars being 91 octane. So a lot of builds. You know, we thank you everybody that keeps them coming. We're gonna keep being open with you guys. I want to show you guys behind the scenes of everything. One cool thing I'm gonna talk about is, you guys remember the Tire Slayer? Well, that car's coming back. It happens to be owned by a very good friend of mine, 458 Destroyer. And 458 Destroyer, as everybody knows, if you don't follow him, please follow him. He's one of the coolest, most down-to-earth dudes you'll ever meet that builds cars and has a huge car collection. The dude's die-hard cars. I mean, I think he wakes up probably thinking about cars and goes to sleep thinking about cars. So he was like, Alex, I'm gonna send this thing back and let's update it. So back with its previous owner, it was just a stock car with just Motec and 5 pounds of boost. Now that 458 Destroyer owns it, and clearly that it's him, we're gonna give it some bells and whistles. We're gonna crank that puppy up. We're gonna put our some things that we could do with standing still burnouts on it. I think I'm gonna update it to flex fuel. Just update it with all the latest, you know, latest and greatest, and then do some cool content. Maybe do a build series on it. Definitely taking that turbo kit off and redoing it. That turbo kit, you know, as time goes on, everybody progresses. You progress your style, you progress your quality, you progress your way of doing things. One thing that I like to do things with our shop is make things less is more. Remember that. Not always the crazy shit is gonna be the coolest. Like, yes, why may look cool? All these pipes everywhere. But when it comes down to actually servicing these vehicles, I don't think a lot of people take that into mind. So what I do is I take all the considerations in servicing everything. I mean, you could have a bad vacuum line, you could have a return, you know, you have to service the turbo, you got to, you know, remove the drain hose, and not being able to access those things properly really creates a headache for the end user, the end installer. Listen, it can look cool on the internet, right? It can look cool when it's all welded up and on the car, but the looking cool doesn't do you no good if you can't service the car. So, I'm gonna take that entire turbo kit off and throw it off the top of my building. So one thing about things never go as planned, right? So Miguel's car was running. It was done. Running last Tuesday. I got real sick last week. I sent him a video of it running. Comes back. One of the sensors took a we had to take it all apart to be able to access the sensor. So now we lost about a week. But it happens. Not everything goes as planned. You know, everybody builds, you know, the shops that tell you, oh, you know, we could do this, we could do that. You gotta take into consideration when things don't go the way you want it, but it's all about having the right people on your team to be able to execute it so you could adjust and revise, right? Me and Milo, yeah, we talk on the vlogs, but we take what we do very serious and always have a plan B if a car goes wrong. Like right now, there's one car that's gonna be on standstill, so we find something else for him to do. We have 5 techs, right? And that's a lot of techs. We were short-handed with a building move. We were 2 techs, and then so I would get my hands dirty. Nick and Pintero, as you guys remember the previous weld vlogs, he was even wrenching. He's not a wrencher, he knows how to. So now we're back up. We have 5 techs and just pumping these builds out. What should we do then? I know you guys just don't like to hear me talk. It gets boring. I don't like hearing myself either. Good morning. We are back with me and my kangaroo. Kangaroo, how you doing? Yo. So you know what he's doing? Guess what he's doing? Guess what he's about? His fucking tools. Guess who bitches about their tools all the time? Me. Guess who doesn't care? Him. How you like it, huh? Table's turn, buddy.
Listen, I do care, but I've got to work. If I don't work, I don't make money.
That goes both ways. Anyway, so today we're gonna build a stage 1 engine. So I think what we're gonna do is on this vlog, we're gonna do the teardown of the stage 1. And then show you guys finishing wraps of Danny P's car and what we vlogged yesterday. And then the next vlog will be him assembling the stage 1 engine. So the stage 1 engine utilizes our piston and rod, valve train, his fucking secrets and recipes of building an engine, and factory liners. The factory liners are coated with,
so they're actually, it's a factory aluminium block,
right,
coated. So not liners, are actually just coated with Aliseal.
Aliseal.
Yeah.
Which Aliseal is the same thing in GTR stuff.
A little bit different, GTR's actually got a liner on it, so it's a bit different.
Factory has liner?
Yeah, but it's a bit different, so it's a different type of coating. It's a spray coating. This is actually bonded, so it's like...
So you would say this is stronger than the spray coating?
No, this is a different process.
The reason I bring that up
they're
is
actually not all strong, you know what I mean? They're just a different process of doing it, that's all it is.
Well, because GTRs now, I don't know much of the GDRs, but don't they run factory these days to make big power? Like Tony's gone, in the beginning everyone was sleeving them, now they went to factory short blocks with pistons and rods, right?
Technology has changed. With technology, you've got better pistons, better rods, better turbos. Right. So now you can make big power with a smaller turbo, so that's why everyone's keeping the blocks factory. Now you can still make power, but I mean, the standard block on a GTR 1600, 800, that's it. The cradle, the actual cradle twist.
So would you say that this liner and this short block will be able to handle 15, 1600 without an aftermarket sleeve?
Oh yeah, we're doing 1400 now. So really we're at about 1550 at the engine.
Right.
So I'm quite confident. I reckon this engine will probably do about 2000 at the engine before it actually...
You know what we should do is push one, and we should throw one of these stage 1 in one of our personal cars with big turbos and just let it ride. But anyways, so that is the little breakdown of what he's gonna do with this stuff. So let's follow along with him. I'm gonna go do some emails and clean up the shop a little bit. We got a couple guests showing up today, so that's kind of cool. Well, today and tomorrow. Clay Smith is coming into town. We're upgrading the stage 1 car to a stage 2 with flex fuel. And then he's got this big rally in Denver, so he's just gonna literally drive it from here straight to Denver.
To Denver.
1,000 miles. So the moment we're done with it, he's jumping in and driving it to Denver.
And everybody knows how comfortable a hurricane. A hurricane.
I drive it home 10 minutes and I'm all his car. So he's gonna do that. And then we also have Rico from New York coming in tomorrow. They're flying in today. Rico owns a yellow R8 that we're doing a big build on. It's actually Rico's birthday today too. Cool dude. So yeah, it should be an interesting next couple days. Pretty fun. Things are just jamming out. Danny's P car made a lot of power.
And I see, what's his name from New York, RHD, what's his name? Vito, I see he's loving that car. He's non-stop vlogging through.
Tire. I said, buddy, don't rip on that car without a tire. 1,400 horsepower on the stock tires, no bueno.
I don't think he's gonna care. That kid just wants to drive that thing.
How long does it usually take you to rip one of these apart?
How long takes me, or how long does it take someone else to do?
You. You're the star, you're the star, not nobody else.
I don't know, it's all different. It's just depends. Just depends. It takes like.
Are you gonna strip and then put it on the engine stand?
On this one, it has to go on the engine stand to do the bottom end. So the short block, we'll do it on that. Once the short block's finished, we'll put it on that, and then we'll continue with that.
It's pretty cool.
Just 1 second. Alex gets tired all the time because he's how to YouTube as a professional during the night, so he doesn't get to sleep much, this poor guy.
Is that really? That's got a 2-year-old kid that wants to kick you everywhere. He's such a head. But then in the mornings, I get up, I'm pissed off, I shower, then I go up to him and give him a hug, and he hugs you, and it's all okay.
So we're building our stage 1 engine at the moment, and we're going to go through and show you some of the bits and pieces that we actually do, and the process, also the techniques that we use to get these sort of engines built the way we like to build them. So first and foremost is we pretty much strip the engine itself, completely strip it, wash it. So what happens is we actually dummy assemble the engine, we put brand new bearings in it and everything else. So we pre-assemble most of the parts. So we pre-assemble the rods, the girdle and the caps, everything on it, and then we measure it. Once we get that measurement, that's what we call our clearance. So then we'll measure the crank inside journal, and then we get our clearances from that. So that's how we clearance and do our engines. I've already clearanced this one, it's already been done, so I'm pretty happy, actually very happy with the clearances we're running. It's usually what we run, so it's great. We pre-assemble the rods, so I'm just going through assembling all the rods for this one. The crank's been balanced, it's been cleaned, polished, so that's all ready. As you can see in the top of this one, I've just got our girdle up here, I've set up for the camera. So you can see it's got brand new bearings in it, and I pre-assembled all this, put it inside the actual block, and measured up and got our clearance from it. So that's what we had there. The other thing we had is I like to lap the decks on these blocks, especially in stage 1. I don't like machining the deck and anything else because they're very tight like tolerance on these. So what I do is I lap the deck on these and they turn out real nice. So this is what the factory deck looks like, as you can see on this here. You see all the marks and bits and pieces. And then I done this one just previously, and you can see this has all been lapped. So once it's finished, I'll put in the we're going to put in the bath, wash it, and then it's ready for the final assembly. We have a sonic bath that we put all our stuff in, as I explained last time we did it. So put it in the sonic, absolutely clean everything in it, and then it's ready for assembly. So I'll show you the process of lapping on this, how we do it, and we'll get back to you after that. We've got the block back from the sonic. It's all been lapped up top. Everything's ready to be pre-assembled now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fit the crank, I'm going to fit the rods without no rings, and then just turn the assembly, make sure there's no touching, no interference or anything like that. Pretty much turns over nice, everything's good on it. Then we'll gap the rings, put the rings on it, put everything final assembly, and then do the bottom end, take it off, and then we'll start doing the head and everything else. So should be, I would say tomorrow, ready to get turned over. It's about 2 to 3 day turnaround on a stage 1 engine, so it should be good. I'll see you guys when I start putting it all back together. So what we're doing now, I'm just putting a couple of bolts in to settle it in there, and then I put the top on. I'm going to stick the rods and pistons, and I'm going to turn it over. I do not want to touch any part of the block, aluminium or anything. So that's why we're pre-assembling it, checking it, make sure it's good, Once it is, you'll see me take it off, then we'll start to torque up everything and do it. Okay, so we've got the piston right in, and now I'm just going to turn it over, make sure there's no clearance issues or anything else with it, and check the TDC of the piston as well to see above or below deck, and we measure that as well. Turns over, clears everything, quite happy with that. So obviously this is just a pre-assemble. We don't really torque anything up, anything. We're just checking for clearance issues. Once that's good on the final assembly, that's when we're going to torque everything to pretty much all the torque settings. This is factory, except for the head studs, because we run ARP head studs on them. But and the actual rods, sorry, the rods we run 625 studs. So they're the only things that are actually different from, or variants from factory. But pretty much every other bolt on this is a factory bolt, and it's a great bolt. It works really well. And we're going to torque it up to the factory one. So as we go through this, we'll check out a bit more. Beautiful. Okay, fantastic. There is absolutely no touching anywhere. There's plenty of clearance everywhere, and overall quite happy with it. Clears everything. Everything's good. So yeah, back to now we're going to do a full assembly. So as you will see us, it'll take us a lot longer. It's not that easy just to do what we're doing. It takes a bit of time, but hopefully today we should have the bottom end all clearanced up, ready to go, and tomorrow should be final assembly and get this bad boy finished by Friday. Keep in touch, guys.
Alright, so you guys saw him rip it all down. He cleaned it all up, got it all nice and pretty. This motherfucker's clean, by the way. I like talking. Anyway, so he's doing pre-assembly. The next vlog, you guys are gonna do final assembly and see all the cool shit. What do you think, Mile?
I think next one's going to see the engine pretty much pre-assembled, and Friday ready for you guys.
Me?
Install it, kick it in the guts. For you.
You mean those guys?
Our guys.
Yeah. That's a wrap. See you guys tomorrow.